The Shark Deck.
Buckle up. Oh, today's a feisty one. Hi, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. You know, comedians fun, right? Nope, not today. All right, let's start with Pete Davidson, the headline from The Sun. Pete Davidson lashes out at fan after he slammed as a racist during a comedy show in a shocking moment. Pete was on stage Saturday night in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. According to a U.S. Sun reporter in the audience, Pete Davidson came out at the end of the show alongside Jon Stewart and John Mulaney to take some questions from fans. Okay, one woman shouted out that Pete was a racist, to which Jon Stewart tried to calm it down and explain it's just part of Pete's act. But the Sun tells us the accusation seemed to enrage Pete Davidson, who shouted out, I got to clean this up here, "You're a C-word, shut the F down." Stewart tried to make fun of the moment, saying, "Clean up in aisle 3. Somebody who was at the show said Pete was talking about his realtor who's black, and he said the realtor was showing him homes, and he called the big room the master bedroom. Pete apparently then did a, quote, skit about himself being the master before he was corrected by the realtor, who told him that the term is now primary bedroom because master was named after slavery. The Sun says it's not clear what part of the joke the woman specifically objected to. Meanwhile, Amy Schumer has been accused of cyberbullying Nicole Kidman after making fun of Nicole Kidman at the U.S. Open. Amy Schumer took to Instagram on Monday and shared a photo of Nicole Kidman. The picture shows Nicole in a pink dress, staring wide-eyed into the camera with her hand held beneath her chin. Underneath the picture, Schumer wrote in the caption, "This how humans sit." Some people got a little annoyed. Amy went back on Instagram and said, "I want to apologize to all the people I hurt posting a photo of Nicole Kidman and alluding to her being an alien. I'll be asking the cast of That 70s Show to write letters advocating for my forgiveness." Some comments on the social post. One wrote, "This post seems beneath you. What point are you trying to make here? She's most likely uncomfortable because there's a complete stranger recording her. That's the look of annoyance and frustration leaking through the Botox." Another fan seemed disappointed in Amy, writing, "Wow, so mean. I expected one of my favorite comedians to have more respect for other people's feelings than this." All right, there's a new documentary. It's called Sorry Not Sorry. It premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival on Sunday night. Producer Kathleen Lingo expressed disappointment that famous women who once criticized Louis C.K.'s behavior didn't want to participate in Sorry Not Sorry. Lingo said that every single famous comedian the team approached to speak about Louis C.K.'s actions did not want to be interviewed for the project. "I think the thing that really stands out in my mind, having been super involved with the outreach, is how many women had spoken out in around 2017, but when we reapproached them, 2020, 2021 declined, which is sort of a sobering reality, and it just goes to show the bravery of the women who are in the film, as we're sort of looking back at the Me Too movement right now in the rearview mirror, and everyone's always asking, are things better, are things worse? It's really hard to have a blanket sort of assessment, but just the fact that the women who at that moment felt the sense of promise to now not feel that anymore, I think is quite dark." A note at the end of the movie indicates that Louis C.K. did not respond to the filmmaker's request to comment on the project or to be interviewed for it. If you don't remember what this is all about, a November 2017 New York Times report had 5 women accusing Louis C.K. of sexual misconduct, detailing encounters in which he had exposed himself and did some self-stuff and requested to do some self-stuff in front of the ladies. C.K. responded to the allegations the following day, admitting the stories are true. In 2021, he released a special/comedy album called Sorry, which included jokes about his sexual misconduct. That won the Grammy Award for Best Comedy Album. The LA Times says comedian Michael Ian Black, Parks and Rec co-creator Michael Schur, and Noam Dworman, who's the owner of the Comedy Cellar, also appear in the film. Jon Stewart, who declined to participate, is seen in archival footage juxtaposing The Daily Show's 2016 exchange with college student Dan Ackerman with his contrite Today Show appearance, addressing his friendship with CK a year later. Co-director Kara Monis says, "It's stunning to watch. Of course, we'll never know what Jon Stewart did or didn't know, but I think being able to watch public figures speak about this over the course of years is striking, and to hear his real-time reactions, how he responded to that question being posed, is pretty incredible." But at the heart of Sorry Not Sorry are the women interviewed on screen, some of whom, like artist and comedian Abby Schachner and TV writer Jen Kirkman, describe sexual harassment by CK, while comedian and writer Megan Koester shares the antagonistic reactions she received after reporting on CK's then-rumored behavior. All say private and career anxieties followed as their accounts were ridiculed and challenged in the court of public opinion. If you missed Saturday's episode, I caught you up on Jimmy Fallon Gate. That was an entire episode just about that. Go back and listen to it. So in light of Jimmy Fallon Gate, the New York Post says a tense exchange between Amy Poehler and Jimmy Fallon has gone viral. The heated interaction was initially covered in Tina Fey's 2013 autobiography Bossy Pants. It depicts Jimmy Fallon yelling at Amy Poehler during a table read for SNL. Tina Fey wrote back then, Amy Poehler was new to SNL and we were all crowded into the 17th floor writer's room waiting for the Wednesday night read-through to start. Amy was in the middle of some such nonsense with Seth Meyers across the table and she did something vulgar as a joke. I can't remember what it was exactly except it was dirty and loud and unladylike. Jimmy Fallon turned to her and a faux squeamish voice said, "Stop that, it's not cute, I don't like it." Amy dropped what she was doing, went black in the eyes for a second and wheeled around on him. "I don't effing care if you like it." Amy made it clear she wasn't there to be cute. She wasn't there to play wives and girlfriends in the boys' scenes. She was there to do what she wanted, and she did not effing care if you like it. The New York Post has reached out to both Amy Poehler and Jimmy Fallon for comment. They have not commented. Someone who did comment, Greg Gutfeld, who said apologizing was Jimmy Fallon's mistake. Gutfeld said, "They're trying to Ellen DeGeneres you, and they're sad cowards and S-bags." Who uses that term? Really? Gutfeld continued. He's a gentle, sweet person. He's great at everything but hiding his own crap. And that's the problem here. If the drinking story is true, that's sad. If the drinking story isn't true, that's evil because he's being targeted for fake or possibly real reasons to get him fired. Again, he's being Ellened. I wonder if Gutfeld believes in my conspiracy theory that maybe NBC's looking at the upcoming election year going, should we make a change? And should we make a change now while we don't actually have a Tonight Show that would have to pay for plus or minus contracts? I haven't read anyone's contracts. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Listen to Saturday. I talked about that. Gutfeld. The most important thing is dude. Let me make sure I got that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dudes, according to the transcript I'm reading. The most important thing is dude. You've got to stop with the apologizing. You're apologizing all the time, and you're apologizing to people who will never forgive you. None of those people like you. How dare you apologize to anonymous people who go to Rolling Stone? A sham of a scuzzy little magazine. 2 words, Duke Lacrosse. Now, let's say he has a problem, right? When you're that talented, talent can overshadow personal pain and the excesses of your social life. The people around you won't tell you if you have a problem. My advice is start listening to the family and the people who love you and screw all those, I assume the next word is holes, it's dotted out, that are around you. They're not doing you any favors. Hey, we're only like 10 plus minutes in and we can get to the fun stuff. Michelle Wolf has a new special out today. See, normally that would be like the first thing in the daily comedy news, but I told you it was a stray full day. Michelle Wolf's All Struggles Matter plus Me Too and News to Me plus All Beautiful make up It's Great to Be Here, Michelle Wolf's 3rd special. She tackles topics like dating, sexual harassment, race relations, and living in a new country. Bert Kreischer's The Machine will hit Netflix September 23rd. That's good. I really want to see it. Haven't done anything about seeing it, so if Netflix sticks it under my nose, I will watch it. The official cause of death for Paul Ruebens, a.k.a. Pee Wee Herman, has been released. Acute hypoxic respiratory failure, a condition that occurs when the lungs can't release enough oxygen in the blood. The death certificate also said Ruebens battled 2 types of cancer at the time of his death. A leukemia, cancer of the blood and bone marrow, which was listed as a sequential underlying cause, and metastatic lung cancer. Ruebens passed away a little over a month ago at age 70. Jimmy Carr, one of my faves, has written his debut screenplay. It's called Fackham Hall, F-A-C-K-H-A-M. Make sure you pronounce it correctly, Fackham Hall. It's a Downton Abbey period spoof in the style of Airplane and the Naked Gun films. Jimmy said, "The British film industry does 2 things very well, period drama and comedy. Now, we didn't have time to write 2 movies, so we've had to mash the 2 genres together. I'm just slightly worried that if you don't say Fackham Hall in a posh English accent, it might be misconstrued. Hopefully that won't be a problem." The story will follow a new porter who embarks on an unlikely relationship with the youngest daughter of a prominent UK family. At the same time, rivalries are spilling over in the Davenport family, led by Lord and Lady Davenport, as they also weather the epic failure of the wedding of their eldest daughter to her caddish cousin. Letterkenny presents a night of stand-up comedy featuring 4 comedians from the popular award-winning Hulu original series Letterkenny. Have you seen that one? That one's fun. And there's a lot of episodes of it, so if you're like, there's nothing to watch, Letterkenny. There's a pre-sale today at 10 a.m. I hear the code is Puppers. Puppers is the code. Letterkenny Tour, November 16th, Boston, then to Ottawa, Burlington, Ontario, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Columbus, London, Ontario, and Kingston, Ontario on December 3rd. Letterkenny's now in its 11th season. Wow. Letterkenny revolves around the dust-ups Wayne and his pals get into with their small-town rivals. For the Hicks, Skids, and hockey players of Letterkenny, getting your butt kicked is a legitimate concern on a day-to-day basis. You'll find Letterkenny on Hulu, and that is your comedy news for today. You can follow this show for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Thanks to DraftKings for supporting today's show. See you tomorrow.